Welcome to episode 49 of the Weekly Whisper. I'm your host, Elian Habanero, and I got Paul here again, third time's the charm. Part 3 with Paul, technically, if you go back to episode, 39 or whatever?
Ah, something like that.
So, we did last week, I hope you checked it out, a great episode. The 365, not only the year in review, but the first ever year for 365 in review. So now, we're introducing the first ever set of the Weekly Whisper Awards. We did give out one award on the last show.
We did.
And we have 5 more to give out.
Exactly.
What award interests you most? What one should we start with, Paul?
Let's start with, let's see. Let's start with this one right here. That one sounds like a good way to kick things off.
Okay, match of the year. Before we announce it, do we want to talk our own picks first, or should we announce it first and then, I don't know. I guess I should have planned this out. But the votes have come in.
Yep, they all came in.
I guess I got to backtrack here a little bit. Yep. Okay, we announced one award on the last show, the year in review, and it was the moment of the year, and I picked that. I didn't get a lot of votes for that. A lot of people, I guess, just wanted to vote for wrestler and feud and tag team and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I picked the moment of the year, which was the announcement that 365 was coming back in August.
Yep.
So now,
Huge.
We're going to give out the award for the 365 match of the year, which you, the fans and wrestlers, have voted on.
Did.
And there was a lot of great runners-up, but the one that got the most votes was Judas Icarus versus Josh Alexander in Guelph, Ontario. Paul, was this your number one as well, or do you have something else in mind?
This wasn't my top 3. This was a huge one. My vote went to Judas versus Travis, the 1 hour draw from the last show. I thought both those guys just destroyed themselves, and it was just a classic all around. But Judas versus Josh was right up there. That was second or third. I'd have to dig through my papers. But yeah, Judas and Josh, that was their second match. They also had one in 2019 as well.
Barney, Ontario, I believe.
Yeah. And those two just tore the house down. Like, I've seen Josh in a lot of matches and Judas in a lot of matches, but that one just clicked.
Yeah, that was just, you can't find too much wrong with that match. And of course it's subjective. Like, some of the matches other people don't like, some other people like. Everybody likes different things, but this is just the way the votes came in. So props to everybody that wrestled a match in 365 this year. There was so many good ones. Think about some other ones that really stood out. We have the Jordy versus Brett, the street fight. Is that what we're talking about here? Was that their best? They had quite a few really good matches. Jordy Taylor versus Brett Matthews. And props to Judas Icarus for being in the top 2 of the top 3 here for votes anyway. Travis Williams was in a lot of great matches. Liza Hall was in a lot of great matches. Clay Wilson was in there was a lot of great matches for this debut year of 365.
Oh yeah.
And we got a lot of votes where just like a match would just get 1 vote for it, which just goes to show the variety. Like everybody, there's certain things everybody likes. Some people like the hour-long matches. Some people like the technicals. Some people like the brawls. I got a couple votes for the Cremator versus Nolan one where it was not the 2-on-1 one, the one before that where there's no DQ, I think.
Okay,
they were fighting around the ring.
Yeah.
So, congratulations, Judas Icarus and Josh Alexander has been voted. Now, this is not official with the 365 company.
No, not at all.
These are the Whisper Awards, and that's the votes we got in. So, do you think we should be happy with that, Judas versus Josh? Like, that's a good one to have as match.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That one, it was kind of what was that? That was on the first or second Ontario show, and that really...
It was the second.
Yeah, second
because he wrestled Brody King the night before.
Yes.
Judas did.
Yeah, so that was a great one to get things going with.
Yeah, what a weekend. And that one had a lot of views and it received a lot of praise. I know Brody King was there live and he really enjoyed the match.
Yeah.
And so just anybody, like I said, that was in a match, the fans have enjoyed all the matches from what I've seen, and this one just happened to climb atop the pile, I guess we could say.
Yeah, very
So
true.
there we go, the first Whisper Award, well, the second one, first on this show. So we're going to check this one off here.
There we go.
And so we'll go into the Feud of the Year. Now, this one's hard because it wasn't a full year, so it's like they had some feuds going, and then there's the pause in between. So do you look technically more at the last half of the year for the feuds?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like there was 3 or 4 good feuds in the last half of the year, and the other ones were just getting going, and then nothing really happened with them.
Yeah.
So as far as the votes go, just by like 2 votes, it was actually Feud of the Year was Golden Boy Travis Williams versus Liza Hall. They must have wrestled 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, it was 3 or 4. They had one before the break, and then
the time limit draw.
Yeah,
for the Grand Championship tournament.
Yeah, and the second the tournament ended, Liza was right in there to get another crack at him. So
yeah, and then they had like a submission match. They had the one with the accident or whatever happened, and then the final one. They had one at the last show, I believe, was it not? Or maybe not the last show. There was 2 shows.
Yeah, they had a feud. There's no doubt about that.
But what a great feud. There's some other feuds that we could talk about a bit. Obviously, we talked about it in a bit in the match of the year. Jordy Taylor and Brett Matthews really went to war against each other for a couple of shows there as well.
Oh yeah, they just tore right into each other. 3 or 4 matches. The street fight, as we said in the last show, Brett Matthews had his golden moment, but Jordy really shined overall in feuds this year. Him and Brett, and it helps to have that personal connection. There's nothing quite like having a breakup with a tag team partner.
Because they have that history, right?
Yeah, and the blood just boils after. It goes from best friend to worst enemy in 1 second, I swear.
I actually thought Jordy and Brett might win it because theirs really spilled out onto social media as well.
Yeah.
Whereas Travis and Liza, I've seen a few interviews, but it didn't seem as heated. I don't know, maybe it was, but Jordy and Brett were constantly taking shots on social media against each other. And we had a few other ones, like Nolan James and Cremator with Zach Andrews in his side. That went for a couple shows there. Any other ones that we can really think of? Any other feuds that went on?
Yeah, there's a couple things heating up in Ontario. Things were just but heating up. Nothing had really gotten started yet.
Yeah, I could see the Temple getting into it with someone, but then all that kind of stopped there for a bit. But yeah, so Travis Williams and Liza Hall, Feud of the Year on the Weekly Whisper.
Congratulations,
and
guys.
Congratulations to them as well. So we'll check that off.
Yeah.
Here's a tough one. Tag Team of the Year.
Very tough.
I mean, it seemed pretty obvious though who would win it, but in this whole year of 365, I think there's only been 6 tag teams that competed. Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like
there's like the winners. The winners is Javico and Eddie Osborne, the first tag team champions. Javio is what I call them.
Yeah.
But then there's like the Voros twins, Nolan and Zach, the Temple, John and Super K. Is there any more? Like, I think that's all the tag team matches.
Let's not forget Cremator and Rhea, who closed out the year as champions, but that was their first match together officially in 365. They have teamed before, people, but this is their first official tag in 365.
And yeah, they could definitely be the 2021 Whisper Awards for Tag Team of the Year. Sure. So it'll be interesting. Do you feel like the tag team division will heat up in the next year more than it kind of... Due to circumstances that happened, it was hard to get the tag team division going, really, when you're only allowed a certain amount of people in the building.
Oh, exactly.
It's hard to condone tag team matches.
Yeah, it was great to see at the November double show that there was actually 3 tag team title matches, because I'm a big proponent and a big fan of tag team wrestling myself. Most of my career was actually spent in tag teams. But like, I saw the results from the card, I'm like, this is wonderful to see. Like, everybody in that promotion kind of has a full-time or an occasional tag team partner. And tag team wrestling is just a whole nother creature that you can throw on the show and create a different atmosphere with.
Yeah, and like there's all these loose affiliations, kind of like what you were saying there. But they're only allowed a certain amount of people in the building, then you'd rather have 6 matches or 5 instead of 4 matches or anything like that. And there's a lot of people that would rather be a single star than there's not a lot of the tag teams are thrown together. They're not like the Voros twins. They're obviously a tag team. But so like Javico and Eddie Osborne won the tag team champion, but like you were saying, you were so happy to see it because I believe there was 2 or 3 shows with no tag matches.
Yep.
Was there not? Or at least they didn't defend the titles there for a bit. And you know, it's just the way the circumstances presented themselves. And props to Dr. Walls for just making the decisions he felt he needed. But if not counting the voting that our voters sent in, which gave Javico the winner, which I would also agree with too.
Yeah.
Who would you say was the runner-up though? Was there anybody even close? Because there's a couple people that had 1 or 2 wins, but I don't feel like anybody got hot on the tag.
Yeah, no. Heavio won it by a landslide beyond 4 other teams getting votes, but yeah, I always love watching the Temple. They were undefeated, but they're only 2-0, so that's really hard to give the award out for somebody who only competed in 2 matches. So
right, yeah. Same with like, it was hard for a lot of these categories as far as Ontario goes because like they just didn't have as many matches where they could have, but it was they couldn't do it. That's just the way it works. So we're just basing on what we have.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate for some people, but great for others, the people that are winning this, because let's face it, it's not anybody in Ontario's fault due to the government restrictions and everything.
No.
But BC really put 365 on its back the last few months.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And
Props
kept
to all
the momentum going.
Yeah, props to the entire BC crew. You guys killed it for the last 5 months, and that will start again in 2021. No questions asked.
Yeah, I was just proud that they could put on shows, real shows again with crowds, and do great matches and just get me back. Because for a while there, I even had stopped watching wrestling on TV and stuff like that, and it just was nice to get that bug again and everything. And they really stepped up. Like they've had a few different guys come in and go out, but they have like a core out there, maybe 10 to 12 people, and man, they really kept the 365 name out there, right? Because it's hard. Like you start a new company, you do 2 months or 6 shows or whatever, then boom. And they did it. They found a way to do it.
Oh yeah, they went back to square one and started again.
So this may be one of the biggest ones. Wrestler of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably 5 or 6 people you could pick for this, would you say?
Oh, absolutely.
But the winner, and I agree with this, and I'll point out the reasons why. The winner was the old greedy bastard, the first ever grand champion, Jordy Taylor. Yeah, the last month or 2 wasn't really ideal for him.
No.
But it doesn't matter because the fans felt like he had a good enough year to be named the Wrestler of the Year. Mm-hmm. Were you surprised Jordy got the most votes?
No, actually. You'll go through most of the points, but Jordy had the most complete year of any wrestler on the roster, no doubt about that.
And I felt not just his matches, but he brings something to 365. When there was no wrestling, he was still promoting 365. He was constantly putting himself out there, not letting us forget about him, showing the championship off, he really made that belt, I felt. It didn't make him, he made the belt.
No. I still find it funny if when I watch the latest November highlights, that Taylor didn't have that belt on him. I'm like, what's wrong here? Like, you expect to be walking around with that thing, just slinging it all over the place, treating it like his pet almost.
It suited him. Like
yeah, it
did. He feels naked without it almost.
Oh yeah, that's most apparent in his most recent matches, that's for sure.
But with that said, I totally agree with Jordy Taylor, and it doesn't matter anyway because it's just whoever voted.
Yeah.
But there were some other people that we could talk about that deserved it. A lot of people deserve to be Wrestler of the Year.
Sure.
Who was your choice? Was your choice Jordy Taylor, or was it someone?
No, I put Travis Williams up for the honor. His second half, he carried the company on his back for the last 5 months.
Yeah,
since he won that grand title. Joey Allen was also my pick for the Ontario brand. He went 3-0, and he just came out really strong. It's a shame that the break happened because I think Joey would have easily been the top champion in Ontario, whatever belt that ended up being.
Yeah, I could see. So yeah, Travis had a really good, like you said, past couple months. And like with Jordy and Travis, some of the ways they won their matches and stuff like that, you may not agree with it, but is it the results is all that matters? Or as far as Wrestler of the Year, do you feel like the definition of Wrestler of the Year is who has the best matches or who has the most success?
It's a combination of everything. Who has the best success, who has the best matches, who complements and who creates a character for themselves, connects with the audience. Like, it's everything. It's not just one little thing.
And I never specified anything as far as the way the voting goes, like Wrestler of the Year based on this.
Yeah.
So it could be the fans and whoever else voted could have interpreted it however they wanted.
Yeah.
Is there even can we even do like a couple more people that you think, like Liza had a pretty good year?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. She was in my top 5 for the year, no doubts about that. competing for the global championship and being the women's championship. Not too shabby, though. Ray Von Slasher, man, did she end 2020 with a bang. Tag champion and #1 contender.
I felt like she won every match except for like the 2 against Liza. Like that was the only one that she couldn't beat.
If you
maybe there was a 4-way or something, but I feel like Liza beat her a couple times for the global women's championship. But other than that, Rhea was killing it.
Oh yeah, sorry, I can tell you that. 1 second. Oh,
he's got this handy little notepad here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Rhea's pretty much undefeated beyond the women's matches.
So she's never lost to a man, only to a woman?
Yeah, it's strange but true.
Wow. And I feel like we got to throw Judas in there. He had a huge beginning of the year.
Yeah, Judy
out in Ontario, and then at the end of the year, like he kind of like got lost there for a little bit in the shuffle, but then he came back really strong the last couple shows.
Oh yes, starting in September. Runner-up in the global tournament, and I don't think he was scared to start at the bottom again. He's one of those guys that strikes me as he likes the challenge, no matter what's if he's in the opener on the card or the main event. He just wants to go out there, steal the show, and absolutely send the fans home happy.
I feel like a loss makes him even more dangerous. Like you'd rather have him win because when he gets that chip on his shoulder from a loss, then he's like, it makes him just more. He wants it even more somehow.
That's actually a really good point. There's the show he won 2 matches. I watched the Fatal 4-Way, he won. And on the first show, he beat Eddie in a singles match. Then he pinned Eddie again with that the hammerlock clothesline thing. And the first hammerlock clothesline he hit him with had some fury behind it. The second time, I'm surprised Eddie still had a head. He just killed him with that, so the intensity just grew from match to match. You could just see it.
And even Cremator, like,
he
had a couple of losses, but I don't think anyone's pinned him without controversy.
Oh,
like,
no.
You know what I mean? Like, it's always like an asterisk next to a Cremator loss.
Yeah,
I don't feel like if he had a fair shake of things, like even the last match against Travis Williams where he faked an injury. And the times he lost to I don't even think he lost to Nolan, actually. I think it was just like DQs and stuff like that. But like I feel like Cremator, if you look at the results, it doesn't give him that much justice sometimes. But like as far as being a top competitor, he would be in that mix. So yeah, Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah.
So this is obviously going to be my favorite, the Whisper episode of the year. Everybody voted, and let's just take a look here. Episode 39 was the winner. Paul, you won the episode of the year on the Weekly Whisper. Episode 39, my first one with Paul. And all the other winners, your awards will be in the mail. Paul, congratulations. Thanks so much. I've wanted you so many times for the Whisper.
That was a great time. Thank you very much for this. Great honor.
Episode 39, check it out. We went through every possible scenario ever if it's for like an upcoming show, wasn't it? Like. And I just really enjoyed having someone to, because I had guests before, but it was more of like they were superstars. I was interviewing them, where you and me can like really pick it apart, like the stats and the scenarios, and I mean it did get the most votes, probably from 365 management and from myself, but I felt like it was truly deserved.
We had a good time.
And thank you to all my guests who came on, and. So, because we have these 2 bonus episodes with Paul, episode last week was supposed to be the last episode. Just a heads up, next week will be episode 50, and that will be the final episode, and it will just be like a State of Address Union, whatever they call that, State of the Union, just to give you a heads up of what you can expect from 365 in the future, in the next year. So, thanks to Paul for coming on again to give me these 2 bonus episodes, and we're going to end with the top 5, and Paul, maybe this episode will beat episode 39 because we can't. The voting was closed, but he's going to give us a top 5. What do you have in mind for the top 5 on this episode?
All right, top 5 for this episode. The top 5 wrestlers to watch in 2021. All of these guys made their debuts in 365 this year. Maybe didn't have as many matches as they wanted, or as many as some of the veterans have. But here's the top 5 guys who are going to steal the show next year.
I love this.
Yeah. Sharif had a hell of a debut back in, he was on the October show, right?
No, it was in November, or wait,
Yeah,
not the last one, the one before.
Yeah, so October, he stole the show in both of his matches against Judas and Travis. I look forward to seeing this guy in action again. I watched one or two of his matches from over in Alberta.
The Mischief Maker, and I became a fan of him. He's got some talent there.
Absolutely. Number 4, former tag team champions, the Burroughs Twins, who held those titles, I believe it was for 5.5 hours?
Yeah, just for from the one show to the next.
Yeah, those two have really impressed me. They've got a very bright future, and it's not like they don't have experience either. They've been teaming for like 8 or 9 years now.
Yes, and since the day they were born, they have that chemistry, like
exactly.
Unspoken, telepathical. Right? I don't know if that's the right word I'm looking for, but they just have that instincts of knowing what the other one wants. But I can see them doing great things, and they already are on social media. They got a huge following.
Check them out. All right, number 3 from the Ontario brand, John, how do you pronounce his name?
Tavius?
John Tavius,
yes.
Number 3. He kind of just came off the bench for I don't remember who he replaced.
I don't
know.
But
man, he stole the show in a tag match he was a part of.
Yeah,
and
Super K,
then on the next show, I believe he fought Eazy-E.
Yes, in golf, and the ring rope broke at some point there.
Yeah.
But what a matchup that was.
Yeah, but the guy's got great chemistry. The guy's got an amazing charisma about him. He's solid in the ring. I think he'll be stealing the show on a lot of Ontario whenever we get back to it.
Yeah, my cameraman's a big fan because he's a fan of the anime, and that's kind of where John's presented himself.
That's where that comes from. Good to know.
Yes.
Number 2, Pretty Ricky Wiley. Only made 1 appearance on the 365 brand this year, but man, this guy is pure entertainment, and he can go in the ring too.
It was against Clay Wilson, was it not?
Yep. It was what did he do? Like bite his bum or something like that, and the crowd got all hot about it. And I didn't catch all the details about it, but I definitely have enjoyed stuff I've watched since then, stuff I've watched before, and I just think he'll be a huge part of whenever we get back.
I believe that was the first ever 365 match in Ontario too.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah, and number 1, no drum roll needed, Mr. Zach Andrews. I do believe he had a match or two in 2019. We were talking earlier.
I think so.
Yeah, but 2020 he was really paying his dues year. I remember I went through a lot of similar things when I started. I was managing a lot, doing the battle royals, like just doing the stuff to get yourself foot in the door type thing. He's been training really hard at the academy for what, 2 years now?
Maybe even 3, and you can tell he hasn't quite put it all together yet, but you can tell the desire and the work ethics there. So once he gets clicking, which Paul says will be this next year.
Oh yeah, this year for sure.
I can see that for sure. He's got an incredible upside.
Oh, absolutely, and he's barely shown his bright future.
Yeah, he's
just showing us a little.
Just scratch the surface.
There you go, right there.
But yeah, great. So these are Paul's picks of top 5 people to watch in 365 in 2021, and what a great year it's been in 2020, considering everything as well. But 2021 just looks to be bigger and brighter. How excited are you for 2021?
I'm pumped for a brand new, fresh start. Get some more wrestling going. Drop 20 pounds. Hopefully you'll see me out there in the ring again.
I would love to see that, and anytime we can get him on the Whisper, we'd enjoy that. And please do it for me and Paul. Give us a like, or you get a leg drop. Comment, or you get a clothesline. Subscribe, or you get a suplex. And share, or you get a sleeper. I'm your host, Elian Habanero, and me and Paul Wright both love wrestling. Cuba!